We have some fast solar wind that could be on its way to give us a solar storm in a couple days, and a snake-like filament teases us on the surface of the sun. Those stories and more in the news this week. Although the sun has been pretty quiet as of late, we do have some good news on the horizon. We have this coronal hole that's going to be rotating into the Earth strike zone here in the next few days, and it could launch a solar storm that could give us some fast wind and maybe some disturbance, maybe even some aurora right around the 3rd and the 4th. But we also been watching this snake-like filament here that's just kind of inching and inching and inching and just teasing us with the idea that it might actually lift off and join the fray. So who knows, maybe in the 3rd or the 4th we could see some decent solar storm from a combination of the two. Switching to our M-flare threat meter, you can see we have been very, very quiet for quite some time. We're popping a few flares here and there, but they're only about C-class flares, and the solar flux remains low, so propagation continues to be an issue. We are getting a little bit more flux coming onto the east limb now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to really bump up propagation, so we're still kind of struggling. Switching to our solar storm conditions and aurora possibilities over the coming week, we are anticipating that high-speed stream that should hit us starting late around the 3rd and into the 4th. NOAA right now is only expecting unsettled conditions with about a 35% chance of a major storm at high latitudes. At mid-latitudes, the conditions are a little bit quieter with only about a 10 to 20% chance of a storm at mid-latitudes, and that should continue into the 4th and maybe even into the 5th before things die down. But after that, things should quiet down and we should be in the clear. Switching to your solar flare and particle radiation storm outlook over the coming week, as far as flares are concerned, everything is in the green. We only have a couple active regions on the solar disk right now, and they're really not M-flare contenders, so we don't have any issues there. Like I said, we're just popping off a few C-class flares, but the problem with that, of course, comes with the solar flux. It's incredibly low right now, which means propagation for you amateur radio guys, it's just not so good, and it's going to continue to be that way. Now, we do have that solar wind, the fast solar wind that should kind of amp things up a little bit, but I'm not sure it's going to help propagation all that much. So the space weather continues to be a bit on the quiet side. Now we do have the chance for that solar storm starting late on the 3rd and into the 4th, maybe even into the 5th if that teasing filament does lift off and send something our way. But meanwhile, that's only good news for the aurora photographers. You amateur radio operators, you're probably not going to like conditions all that much. We don't have very much flux. We have very little activity on the sun right now, so solar flux is continuing to stay low. There's any big flares going off. So it's just kind of making propagation be kind of frustrating right now. And with that solar storm coming, that could make things a little bit worse if the field points the wrong way. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of good news for you guys this week. Just kind of hang in there and let's hope space weather improves for you. I'm Tamitha. Thank you for watching.